Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Prabhu, let us know. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. This is so name is Rachel. Can I read or not? Okay. So all these devotees. So we seek the blessings of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Radha Madhava and Radha Shyam for the benefit of all these devotees who have received, sponsored, gifted Srimad-Bhagavatam set on the auspicious Bhadra Purnima day. So I'll read out their names right now. Adam Prabhu and family, Megha Patel Mataji and family, Bhakti Priya Mataji, Priyanka, Nenika, and their Bhakti Priya Mataji sister's family. Vamsidhari Prabhu is gifting to his cousin, brother, Murali, Radhika and family.
From the start.
So we seek the prayers and blessings of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Radha Madhava for all these families who have received, gifted and sponsored a set of Bhagavatam on the auspicious Bhadra Purnima day. So here's the list of the devotees. So the list of the devotees are being read now. Adam Prabhu and family, Megha Patel Mataji and family, Bhakti Priya Mataji, Priyanka, Nainika and Bhakti Priya Mataji's sister's family, Vamsidhari Prabhu gifting to his brother Murali, Radhika and family, Alex Prabhu and family, Dharmesh Prabhu gifting to Sudhir Vaishnav and Amola Vaishnav, and Raghav Prabhu, Shamala Mataji, Nanda Prabhu's son, sponsoring a set and gifting to one of the congregation members, and Mohan Leela Prabhu, Prema Kishori Mataji, Baladev and Chaitanya sponsored a set and gifting to Volga Mataji. Then Daivi Shakti Mataji gifting to Shravya Kanchi Mataji and Monica Mataji families. Jayant Jagannathan Prabhu sponsoring a set for a congregation member. Alka Nigam, Ratna Deep Nigam, Neha Nigam and Abhishek Deep Nigam taking a set of Bhagavatam, inviting to their home. Padmaja Mataji and Prashant Prabhu gifting a set of Srimad-Bhagavatam to Vikram Vittal and family, their brother. Govinda Mohini Mataji and Alpesh Prabhu, Rohan, Rishi and Arjun gifting to Dimple and Amit Shah. Amrita Keli Mataji, Vrindavan Prabhu family are price matching and contributing to Saujanya Mataji's family. Amish Trivedi Prabhu and family, Kanubai Hiralal Trivedi and Ramaben Kanubai Trivedi receiving a Bhagavatam set. Suresh Mahali and family. Yashomati Mataji is gifting to Krishna and Gurbir. Sita Ramaswamy Naidu and Venkatrama Lakshmi Mataji family gifting to one of their friends. Lingaraju Prabhu, Sunita Mataji gifting to Chakrapati Rao and Drakshayani. Sunita Mataji gifting to Shankara Rao, Jayalakshmi, Monika and Mokshita family. Ram Mohan Reddy and Vijayalakshmi Mataji's family gifting 2 sets to 2 of their friends. Divakaran Prabhu, Vrajeshwari Pran Mataji gifting to one of their sisters, Tamarai Selvi and Mehalingam. Sweetie Mataji, Sonam, Anisha and Amit gifting to Lomesh Prabhu. And Sanjay Raut, Sonali, Aditya and Sagar receiving a set of Bhagavatam in their home. Baladev gifting to his grandparents from his pocket money. To Trimurti Raju and Rajalakshmi family. Vaijayanti, Arvind and family receiving a Bhagavatam set today. Vinod Ashrit, Rupashri Mataji Roshni gifting to Rutuja and Anish family. Mr. Jayant and Mr. Tumpa Mukherjee receiving a set of Bhagavatam gifted by Dharmesh Prabhu. Pankaj Kaul, Shilpa Kaul, Dhruv and Neil Kaul receiving a set of Bhagavatam. Gadadhar Chandra Prabhu, Sundari Lila Mataji, Arun and Anish gifting to Alexander Prabhu. Namrita Shrikant and family receiving a set of Bhagavatam set. Sundararajan, Jayachandran, Ashwini and Ajay receiving a set of Bhagavatam today. Daivi Shakti Mataji gifting an English set for Krishna Shakti Mataji's family. Dr. Nalasivam and Surya Mataji gifting a set of Bhagavatam to one of the congregation members. And Amrita Keli Mataji's brother Rajashekara Reddy, Rajita, Ashwat and Ashrita receiving a set of Bhagavatam. Rahul Sharma, this is Nanda Prabhu and Shamala Mataji's son, sponsoring a set of Bhagavatam to one of the congregation members. Apart from these 38 sets, Ruchira Mataji and Sham Prabhu have distributed 6 sets of Srimad-Bhagavatam on behalf of the temple to different sponsors and donors who have contributed to the temple. And apart from this, for this year, we have had 8 sets of Bhagavatam through Amazon and other congregation members. So we pray for the spiritual connection, growth and continuity of all these recipients and gifters of Srimad-Bhagavatam on this most auspicious day of Bhadra Purnima. And on behalf of the ISKCON Naperville congregation, we will chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra for everyone's welfare and benefit and connection with Sri Sri Radha Madhava and Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai.
I can move everything up. Well, what's easy? What?
It's coming in the live stream, Frank, live stream. This is the TV display.
Oh, so it's only in the room. Okay, then we're okay. We're okay. I see. These are all first cantos. Yes. I see. Go ahead. Oh, somebody smashed it. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Balabha Yadivadadhadi Gopijana Balabha Yadivadadhadi Gopijana Balabha Yadivadadhadi Gopijana Balabha Gidivadadadi Jasodanandana Brajacanaranjana Jasodanandana Brajacanaranjana Jamunatira Vanam Chadi Jamunatira Vanam Chadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Ballabha Girivadadhari Gopijana Ballabha Girivadadhari Jasodanandana Brajacanaranjana Jasodanandana Brajacanaranjana Jamuna Tiravana Chadi Jamuna Tiravana Chadi Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayom Vishnupat Paramahamsa Parividagacharya Astatara Satasi Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Gaur Pimanandi. So welcome whoever is online. On the occasion of Bhadra Purnima. a cloudy sky tonight, so I don't think we're going to see the full moon, at least here in the Chicago area. Maybe those of you that are in Houston, you'll be able to see the full moon. So online are 3 different congregations, the Chicago Temple, the Naperville Temple, and the Houston Temple. And we're all celebrating together as all around the world, well, almost all around the world, that we don't have temples in some places, or the ability to print Srimad-Bhagavatam in the language of some of those places. But celebrating Bhadra Purnima is a very special function. It's special because the month of Bhadra is special. The appearance of Radharani comes in the Bhadra month, and many other, Krishna's appearance comes in the Bhadra month. The appearance of Lord Balaram comes in the previous month. But this particular Purnima is, you all know the purpose. We're honoring it especially because in the 12th canto of Srimad-Bhagavatam it's honored as a very auspicious, such an auspicious occasion that if one makes as a gift a copy of this Srimad-Bhagavatam on the occasion of Bhadra Purnima on a golden throne. So here we have I guess it's a golden throne. Then it's such an auspicious occasion that you'll return back to Godhead. So like to spend some time, for those of you that have not yet decided to make a contribution of Srimad-Bhagavatam to someone on this auspicious day, you may become inspired. And those of you that have already done so, this is the gift that you're giving to others, some idea of some of the glories of Srimad-Bhagavatam. That's what we'll be discussing this evening. The second verse of the entire Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, text number 2. If you know the verse, you can say it along with me. It's a well-known verse. It has several important parts. Dharmak projita kaitavotra paramo nirmatsaranam satam vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayon modanam Srimad-Bhagavate Mahamuni Krite Kimva Parayar Ishvaraha Sadyo Hridi Avarodhyatetra Kritibi Shushrushrubis Tatshanat. Nice sounding verse. Here's the meaning. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, this Bhagavad Purana propounds the highest truth, which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one has attentively and submissively hears the message of the Bhagavatam, by this culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Of course, He's already within our heart, but established within the heart means one can see Him. One can feel His presence. Maya is taken away, the curtain of Maya is withdrawn, and one can see Him established there in the heart. So in addition to Srimad-Bhagavatam speaking about Srimad-Bhagavatam, here's several very interesting texts. This first one is from Garuda Purana. Multiple of the Puranas speak about how special Srimad-Bhagavatam is. Here's what Garuda Purana says. This Srimad-Bhagavatam is the most perfect Purana. It is the natural commentary on Srimad-Bhagavatam, on Vedanta Sutra, It establishes the meaning of Mahabharata. It is a commentary on Gayatri. It explains and expands the meaning of the Vedas. It is the Sama Veda of the Puranas. And it was spoken by the Supreme Lord Himself. It has 12 cantos, hundreds of chapters, and 18,000 verses. In addition to other Puranas glorifying this Srimad-Bhagavatam, it's giving some very specific characteristics or traits that this Bhagavatam is achieving. I'll just make mention of one. It's the Sama Veda of the Puranas. Now, there's 4 Vedas, and amongst the 4, Sama Veda is appreciated as being very melodious and sweet sounding to the ear. So, this Bhagavatam, when recited, is like that. Someone's trying to get in? Oh, there we go. Okay. And its duration, 12 cantos, 18,000 verses. There's other Puranas that speak also about this Srimad-Bhagavatam. Here's Skanda Purana. In Kali Yuga, what is the value of collecting hundreds of thousands of other scriptures if one does not keep Srimad-Bhagavatam at home? So I hope you have one in your home. How can a person be considered a Vaishnav in Kali Yuga if Srimad-Bhagavatam finds no place in his house? Even if he is a learned Brahmana, such a person should be considered lower than a dog-eater, Skanda Purana says. Oh, learned Brahmana, Narada, wherever Srimad-Bhagavatam is present in Kali Yuga, there the Supreme Lord goes, along with the demigods. A person who faithfully recites one verse of Srimad-Bhagavatam every day, O sage, attains the fruit of reading the 18 Puranas. So don't just keep in your home, but read. And according to Skanda Purana, even one verse a day, one verse every day, you attain the fruit of having read all 18 Puranas. Here's Matsya Purana, speaks very highly of Srimad-Bhagavatam also. That Purana is known as Srimad-Bhagavatam, which explains the topmost principles of religion with reference to the Gayatri Mantra, and which tells of the killing of the demon Vritra. This Purana has 18,000 verses. And here's a similar verse to what we heard from Canto 12. Whoever writes out a copy of Srimad-Bhagavatam, places it on a golden throne, golden lion throne, and presents it to someone on the full moon day in the month of Bhadra, will attain the supreme goal. Now, you don't have to write one. It's a lot of writing to write one, because previously there wasn't a printing press, and now with printing press, the equivalent is producing the entire text for others. Specific mention here is made of the killing of the demon Vritra, and the reason is that's not found in the other Puranas. It's exclusively found in the Bhagavad Purana. So, just in case there's some uncertainty about which Purana we're referring to here, it's this one. And the story of Vritrasura is right in Canto 6, Srimad-Bhagavatam. Now, this statement from Matsya Purana is almost the same, quite similar to found in Skanda Purana and Agni Purana. I think you get the picture, starting to get the picture. All the Puranas, by name and with various qualities of Srimad-Bhagavatam, honor the unique, special position amongst them all of Srimad-Bhagavatam. There's another text in Padma Purana that speaks of the 12 cantos of Srimad-Bhagavatam being the same as, not representing, but being the same as the body of Krishna. Because in the Bhagavatam itself, when Krishna departed shortly after, to protect and uphold religious principles, the Bhagavatam appeared. And the Bhagavatam is the form, literary form, of the Supreme Person. So you see on the left and the right side, 6 plus 6, 12 cantos. Here's what Padma Purana says. The Bhagavatam's first and second canto are the Lord Krishna's feet. Third and fourth cantos are his thighs. Fifth canto is his navel. Sixth canto is his chest. And the seventh and eighth cantos are his arms. The ninth canto is his throat. The 10th is his blossoming lotus face. The 11th his forehead, and the 12th his head. I bow down to that Lord, the ocean of mercy, whose color is like that of a tamal tree, and who appears in this world for the welfare of all. I worship him as the bridge for crossing the unfathomable ocean of material existence. Srimad-Bhagavatam has appeared as his very self. Pretty unique. I appreciate the richness of the glorification of the other Puranas of Srimad-Bhagavatam. It's just using a worldly example. Supposing you're a student at a university, and you had a really important question. So you requested an audience to come before the deans of each of the departments of the university. You walk into the room, and they honor your presence, and you say, I'd like to ask, I've been given the opportunity to ask one question. And all of the persons in all the deans of all the departments turn to one individual and says, whatever your question is, ask him. He's the greatest authority amongst us. And that's not going to happen in academia. Those that are a little bit familiar with that scene. But if that were to happen, then there's no question. All the Puranas are accepting the superlative authority of Srimad-Bhagavatam, and for good reason. Here's another nice illustration of the 12 cantos. In each of the petals of those lotuses pictured there, it identifies a topic that's covered in cantos 1 through 12. Very systematic, very comprehensive. here's a nice message from the Bhagavatam itself. One of the concluding questions in the first section of the Bhagavatam is, after Krishna departs this world, how are religious principles to be upheld and protected? And the answer is given here. Krishne Swadharmam Bhagate. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun. And it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. Now this was spoken just after Krishna's departure and just as this present Yuga, Kali Yuga, was beginning. It's a literature that's especially is customized for our dark age. While it's like when the sun sets. Here in Chicago, the sun is setting. The light in the sky is dimming, and soon it'll be dark. So when it's the darkness of the night, in this dark age of Kali, how are we to get light? It's the highest knowledge presented in language and in a form that's very approachable and very appropriate for this age. It's transcendental literature, so you have to reach a bit, but that's good. Transcendence is something worthy to be reached for. But it gives light. It gives illumination. It gives enlightenment suitable for the people of this age. And fully transcendental, because in this transcendental position, can we do something with the air conditioning? It's pretty loud. It's a place of shelter for us, in short. In the Chandogya Upanishad, sometimes people say, scholars in particular like to say, the Vedas are Rig, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva Veda, and anything else than that doesn't qualify to be called Vedas. So we're speaking of Srimad-Bhagavatam as a most exalted part of the Vedas. So that's in contrast with what scholars say. So here's a reference from amongst the Upanishads, amongst the 4 Vedas, there are Upanishad section, and the Chandogya Upanishad is especially revered from the Samaveda, where it says, "Venerable Sir, I have studied the Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva Vedas, and also the Itihasas and Puranas, which are the 5th Veda." So those of you that are familiar with the 4 Vedas, well, within the 4 Vedas it says there's a 5th Veda. And the Puranas and Itihasas are the 5th Veda. And there's similar statements besides from the 4 Vedas themselves in Mahabharata, Bhavishya Purana, Bhagavad Purana, that also speaks of the same body of that which is Vedic. This Srimad-Bhagavatam is within that same body of literature. Here's another from Brihat Aranyaka Upanishad that states, "My dear Maitreyi, the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Samaveda, and Atharva Veda, the Itihasas or histories, the Puranas, the Upanishads, the Slokas or mantras chanted by the Brahmanas, the sutras, or accumulations and summarized summaries, accumulations and summaries of Vedic statements, as well as vidya, transcendental knowledge, and the explanations of the sutras and mantras are all emanations from the breathing of the great personality of Godhead. So this is a Vedic statement indicating confirmation that calling Bhagavad Gita Vedic literature is perfectly appropriate, because all of this Vedic literature, by definition, it's an emanation from the breathing of the personality of Godhead. And as he breathes, sound comes, and the sound of the Vedas is captured in these various texts. Here's from Srimad-Bhagavatam. Just as the Ganga is the greatest of all rivers, Lord Achyuta, the supreme amongst the deities, and Lord Shambhu or Shiva, the greatest of Vaishnavas, so Srimad-Bhagavatam is the greatest of all Puranas. This is from the concluding chapter of Srimad-Bhagavatam, Canto 12. We're familiar with this one, Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. That's where it comes from. And so, Tata, Puranam Idam Tata. This Srimad-Bhagavatam is similarly the greatest. From the same chapter, Srimad-Bhagavatam is declared to be the essence of all Vedanta philosophy. One who has felt satisfaction from its nectarian, mellow, will never be attracted to any other literature. Now, almost all of us in the room here are from India. There's two of us that aren't. But those of you that are from India, you know what traditional South Indian weddings are like. I just want to share a little story. There's a devotee, very nice devotee, who is from South India, from a Iyer Brahmin family. Iyer means they're worshippers of Lord Shiva. His family, his whole line for generations. And the wife, same, Iyer Brahmin tradition, so they married. Both ISKCON devotees. And at the time of their torturous 3-day wedding, and not just like, little ceremony over here and, okay, let's have nice kirtan and prasadam. It was one of those laborious things. So this devotee shared with me, he saw over on the side, without a book in his hand, his grandfather reciting something the whole 3 days. So out of curiosity, he just asked politely his grandfather, what was it that you were reciting for 3 days? And he said, Srimad-Bhagavatam. And he was very surprised, but, Grandpa, you were higher Brahmins. He said, you know me, my whole lifetime, I've just been reading books. And reading books and reading books. And when you got involved in ISKCON, I thought, let me read some of your books. So I got a copy published by the BBT of Srimad-Bhagavatam. And as I started reading Srimad-Bhagavatam, I became so attracted that I had lost attraction for any of the other literature. I just only read Srimad-Bhagavatam now. And I've been memorizing it. And so I thought it'd be nice for your wedding. I could just recite chapter after chapter after chapter after chapter after chapter for 3 days from memory. of Srimad-Bhagavatam, and I have no attraction for anything else anymore. So may we get some of that attraction. But the literature is it's Srimad. It's very sweet, very beautiful, very melodious, very profound, very attractive. From Matsya Purana and Shiva Purana, something similar in Matsya Purana, it says, the ingenious Lord condensed the Veda and then divided it into 4. Therefore, he became known as Veda Vyas. He also summarized the Puranas in 400,000 verses. But in the heavenly planets, they still comprise 1 billion verses. So out of the 400,000 verses, 18 of those 400,000 is Srimad-Bhagavatam. But in the heavenly planets, 400,000 becomes 1 billion. So if we don't go back to Godhead, and you somehow make your way to the heavenly planets, you can look forward to reading an expanded version of Srimad-Bhagavatam. It doesn't say how many verses are there in the heavenly planets, but significantly more, if it's at all proportionate, 400,000 to 1 billion. So many things found in our present Srimad-Bhagavatam that are there's highlights, but not all detail, even within one story. And here's a nice example. In Canto 1, there's a description of chapter 13. There's a description of Vidura going on pilgrimage. In Canto 3, the person who heard Vidura went on pilgrimage, where did he go? He heard from Maitreya. What did he hear? What was the conversation? Comes in Canto 3. And then the conversation that took place before that conversation is in Canto 11. The point I'm making is that there's things that are presented in Srimad-Bhagavatam are not all chronological, but it's quite logical, because some ideas are more expanded and comprehensive, so that comes a little bit later. And essenced pieces are over here, and a tiny little piece is over here. You just wiggle the tiny piece and it expands. So if there's more questions asked by sages, or Maharaj Parikshit, or however the format is set up, it's the understandings can expand and expand and expand. But what we have in Srimad-Bhagavatam is sufficient to go back to Godhead. Prabhupada said when he came to America, he came just with Canto 1, and he packed it up with everything he said. Everything that you need to know to go back to Godhead is there in Canto 1. So read it again and again, and again and again, and then Canto 2, and stay at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, and then go to the other cantos. Here's Srila Prabhupada examining one of the publications of Srimad-Bhagavatam when it was made available. This is his room in Los Angeles. This is the 7th canto cover. Here's 5th canto, examining the text and the color plates, and he very much enjoyed receiving the printing and having the volumes distributed and having our devotees read. Now here's some further glorification, and we'll wrap it up for now. Srimad-Bhagavatam is the spotless Purana. It is most dear to the Vaishnavas because it describes the pure and supreme knowledge of the Paramahamsas. This Bhagavatam reveals the means for becoming free from all material work, together with the processes of transcendental knowledge, renunciation, and devotion. Anyone who seriously tries to understand Srimad-Bhagavatam, who properly hears and chants it with devotion, becomes completely liberated. Prabhupada was very dedicated to making his Srimad-Bhagavatam and other literature available to the world. He wanted us to have it, to read it, to share its contents with others, and bring light into this dark age of Kali. He had great faith in the Srimad-Bhagavatam and in the holy name. He spoke it strongly and vibrantly. He lived it, and he wanted us to receive it. So this is Bhadra Purnima. I was supposed to speak for 25 to 30 minutes. I've gone over a little bit. These are some of the glories of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Now in the Houston temple, they have come close to their target, something like 8 to 10 sets shy of their target for this particular event, the Bhadra Purnima event. Here in Naperville, there's an annual target, right? Not specifically just for the Bhadra Purnima event. So please participate, and Chicago Temple similarly. They have an annual target, and they're a little more than a third of the way, so they need persons to participate to meet the goal. And the goal is to make an offering to Krishna, to the disciplic succession, to our founder Acharya, who translated with great effort this the verses and the commentary, along with some of his disciples, to give to the world this Srimad-Bhagavatam. One of the Bengali-speaking devotees shared this with me. They were listening to a class in Mayapur, a morning class in Mayapur, which comes over here in the evening. And it was in Bengali. At the end of the Bengali class, there was an appeal made that Jayapataka Maharaj wants sponsors to sponsor books to give to libraries and universities around West Bengal. So please come forward and make some donations so we can have these books to give to the world at large. So similarly, consider, I'll assume, many of you, if not most of you, already have Srimad-Bhagavatam. There's lots of people that don't. And there's lots of darkness in this age of Kali. And there's what are we as Vaishnavas to do about this darkness? There's not a lot of options. Not a lot of pleasant ones. But it's our response to the darkness of the age of Kali is to bring light. People are doing ignorant things because they're misguided. They're unfortunate. They're very disturbed. They're hurting themselves and one another. We have to do something, and our something primarily is this: bring transcendental wisdom into the atmosphere of this earth planet at which where we're living. And it's not a temporary solution, it's a permanent solution to this dark age of Kali and the circumstances of the world in which we find ourselves. Vigorously, it's urgent. And so please consider. Now, my understanding is I'm going to stop speaking, and in each location allow someone who's an MC to do what you need to do, to encourage people to come forward and make their commitments to sets of Srimad-Bhagavatam locally. So I guess,
Maharaj,
go ahead.
would like to acknowledge about 50 sponsors for our Bhadra Purnima Srimad-Bhagavatam sponsorship.
Really? 50?
Yes,
Fantastic.
and we can always use more, Maharaj.
Well, that's your target. Saranga Thakur shared with me that your target was 50 and you were almost there, but now you're there. So keep going.
Thank you. The following devotees have sponsored Bhadra Purnima program. Rohit Malia, Parampara Prabhu and his family, Devalina Ghosh, Devesh Pandya, Haritha Kanna Boina, Gopika Ranganathan,
He's going to read
Kalindi
50
Devi,
names.
Prasanadma Prabhu and family, Radha Vallabh Prabhu and family, Radha Krishna Prabhu, Nilamadhava Prabhu and family, Chaitanya Chandra Prabhu and family, Saranga Thakur Prabhu and family, Mamata Dham, Abhay Charan Prabhu and family, Ishu Gautam and family, Harivallabh Prabhu and family, Sri Devi, Manmathananda Prabhu and family, Tejas and family, Raghava Perumal and family, Prerit Vyas, Guru Bhakti Devi and Sarvabhauma Prabhu, Amarendra Prabhu and family, Jagadish Lagisetti, Ved Niche Namalta, Ramakrishna Madela, Vinod Ray and family, Pradeep Sharma and family, Murli Manohar Prabhu and Sashimukhi Devi and family. So that's about 50 donors so far, and more sponsorship is available. Rajendra Prabhu and family have added on. Devi and family. So since we have 51, as Maharaj said, that was the target, but we can certainly go above and beyond our target. So if
Chirag?
you get inspired, and if you wanted to still become a donor or a sponsor, you can visit iskonhoustonbooks.square.site, iskonhoustonbooks.square.site, and it'll take care of your donors and sponsorship opportunity. So
Chirag,
today we will be donating this sets of Bhagavatam after we offer this as a gift to our deities, and then each sponsoring family will be receiving their gift so that they can either donate or start using Srimad-Bhagavatam. Thank you so much to each and every one of the family.
Chirag, can I add something?
Yes, Maharaj.
I'm holding up a copy of Canto 1 Srimad-Bhagavatam, and I understand in Houston there's been a very generous gesture to extend donated copies to different community leaders of sets of Srimad-Bhagavatam. So I'd like to speak something just in appreciation of those community leaders who are welcoming Srimad-Bhagavatam in your organization or in your group. And we're happy, delighted, more than happy, to make this available to all of you. I know that Krishna will be very pleased to take shelter in your organization's library or wherever you decide to place it. And let our spiritual community grow together with Krishna at the center. So thank you for that.
Okay, thank you so much, Maharaj. So at this time, I'm going to introduce some of our special guests, our community leaders in Houston, who will be receiving, of course, virtually, Srimad-Bhagavatam from His Holiness Romapada Swami Maharaj. So as I introduce you, please make yourself available by turning your video camera on so that you can virtually receive the gift from Maharaj. Dr. Randeep Suneja is a quadruple board certified in cardiology and mind-body medicine.
Ah,
He is currently actively involved in Houston Community Service. Dr. Suneja.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the honor and truly appreciate this gift. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Next is Jenya Harrison. She has recently retired as a financial planner and is enrolled in our adult education classes. Jenya Harrison.
here we go.
Next is Christine Fields. She's a registered nurse who recently sold her hospice business. She has taken care of terminally ill devotees, including the mother of Srila Gurudev, His Holiness Tamal Krishna Goswami. She loves to travel and learn about other cultures. So please welcome Christine Fields.
Christine, here's your Bhagavatam set, and thank you for all your service.
Many, many thanks for what the community offered to us as hospice providers. Many thanks for the love and generosity of what they shared with us. I am humbled and forever thankful for the knowledge I received through the encounter with the members of the community.
Mr. Bangar Reddy is community and business leader in Houston. He is an immigrant, he is a Texan, and he is a conservative Republican serving District 22 in our Houston area. Mr. Reddy.
Thank you, Swamiji. I'm so happy to receive. It's a great blessings, and and we are in service of God and make sure that our community is safe and happy and live in harmony. And very important that we all read the Bhagavatam and understand the scriptures that teach us great things to how to live and how to live in harmony and do great things for our community. Thank you so much, Mom.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next is Mr. Arun Sharma. He is an IT professional and serves the organization like Bihar Association, Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh, and Baudik Pramukh. Mr. Arun Sharma.
Namaste. Yeah, namaste, and really thank you, appreciate Swamiji and this team of ISKCON, and we all feel very proud of the work ISKCON is doing in our Houston area and other cities also, and actually to pray and to wish that the work which Krishna did in that Dwapar Yuga, that work which you are doing, continuing that work here in our Kali Yuga, and we do pray that this work will continue at the same pace with the same desire, interest, and people will come to benefit from the teachings of Krishna. Namaste.
Next is Mr. Ramesh Cherivirala, a selected member of Nautilus Group and well known in our Houston community, and he helps many people with his insightful financial solution. Mr. Ramesh Cherivirala.
Thank you very much, Ravi Garu. Swamiji, it's my blessing to accept your gift and we are going to cherish it. And I requested for the English version because my kids probably read sometimes. My son used to read all Bhagavad Gita, Ramayanam when he was very young. And after he is 23 years old and my daughter is 18, I'm hoping that when they come home for the summer break or winter break, probably they will read it. So thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Next is Dr. Manjula Rugutu. She is YLDP, the Youth Leadership Development Program Publishing Director. Dr. Ragutu.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Hare Krishna. Very blessed to receive this. And we hope also I would like to donate a few more books to be given to people so we can spread the knowledge. Very appreciative of this honor and Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
And next is Dr. Helen Rose Ebal. She's a professor of sociology, specializing in organizational sociology and sociology of religion. She is active in interfaith work, bringing our groups to our temple. She also runs a reading club. Dr. Ebal.
Virat Prabhu, Dr. Iba is actually in another meeting. She will join after 8. You can go on with the next one.
Mother Guru Bhakti, did we miss any of our special community leaders?
No, I think we got them.
Okay, thank you. Chirag, that ends our session, yes?
Yes.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
So we're going to be, once again, we would like to thank each and every one of you for being the sponsor, participating in our program, and listen to some wonderful lecture from His Holiness Romapada Swami Maharaj.
Now there's something happening here. Okay.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radhe, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Jai Shri Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai. So now the gifting ceremony begins. So this Bhagavatam set, English set, is sponsored by Gadadhar Chandra Prabhu and Sundari Lila Mataji to Olga Mataji. So you can receive it. Yeah. So the next is, yeah, you can go together. Sonali and Sanjay. Yeah, Sanjay Prabhu and Sonali Mataji are going to receive an English set from Maharaj. Hari Bol. This is Alka Mataji and Ratnadeep Nigam Prabhu and family receiving an English Bhagavatam set today. They were very happy to have program last time with Maharaj at their home, and they're happy to receive this now. Okay, so we have Amish Trivedi Prabhu is here. Okay, Bhakti Priya Mataji, you can take your set. She is going to gift it to her sister's family. This is the fourth set she is taking this. Hare Krishna. Okay, Lomesh Prabhu, please. Sweetie Vyas Mataji and family are gifting a set of English Bhagavatam set to Lomesh Prabhu and family. So Amrita Keli Mataji, Vrindavan Prabhu are contributing towards the Bhagavatam set of Saujanya Mataji and family. They are sharing the prize. So, Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you can take for your neighbor. Yeah. So Vinod Prabhu is going to receive a set. They're going to gift it to their neighbor. Name? Rutuja and Anish. Rutuja and Anish. Hare Krishna. So now on behalf of Raghav Prabhu and Rahul Prabhu, they both are sponsoring 2 sets. That's going to go shipping across the country. So Mataji can receive both. Send back. Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry, I will have to request those of you who have received to probably wait outside for your set to be loaded in your car because of COVID. We need to do physical distancing. So if you can please follow with Lingaraja Prabhu. Can you raise your hand, Prabhu? Yeah. So follow him. He will load the sets in your cars. Thank you so much for coming. We have some more standing down there coming up in a minute. Keep it. Okay. So Sandhya Mataji is going to gift a set of Bhagavatam to Raghav Prabhu. You can take. So it seems like Raghav Prabhu has been borrowing from Sandhya Mataji to read, and so she's going to give a full set. Amish Prabhu? Yeah. Okay, you can go receive. Amish Trivedi Prabhu and family are receiving a set of Bhagavatam today. Hare Krishna. Others are here or not? Haribo, can you check? Everybody else is here. Sundarajan Prabhu. Okay. You are taking English set, right, Prabhu?
So is there a Tamil set?
Tamil also is available. Okay. So right now you can take this and we will load Tamil set to you. You can receive from Swamiji. Sundarajan Prabhu and family are receiving a Tamil set for their continued reading. Hare Krishna. We have more. Here, hold on. So meanwhile, we will announce those who are getting shipped across the country until we wait for the devotees to come up. So Dharmesh Prabhu is gifting one Bengali set to one of our congregation members. And he's also gifting an English set to his sister's family, which will be shipped to North Carolina. And Yashomati Mataji is going to ship a set of English Bhagavatam set to her daughter. And Mohan Lila Prabhu has sponsored and gifted to Alexander Prabhu an English set today. And Sita Ramaswamy and Venkat Ramalakshmi family have gifted one Telugu set to their family friends.
And Mataji Mr. Cat?
That set already went.
Oh, and okay.
Sorry.
And Sumangala Mataji wants to give one.
Nobody else is there.
Mega Patil Mataji is here.
Oh, you are here. Please. Sorry, with your mask I couldn't. Megha Mataji is going to gift a set of English Bhagavatam sets to her mother. She already has a Gujarati set, but now she is reading English, so she is taking an English set also. Thank you.
And Govinda Mohini Mataji?
Govinda Mohini Mataji, you can go.
Say Anand.
Govinda Mohini Mataji and Alpesh Prabhu family are gifting to Amit and Dimple Shah a set of English Bhagavatam set. Okay. Yashomati Mataji I announced.
Yeah, so I wanted to pray today too.
Yeah.
So where do I pay you or?
We'll come and talk to you. Yeah.
And Sumangala Mataji wants to
Sumangala Mataji wants to gift. Okay, Sumangala Mataji wants to give to one of her friends. So on behalf of Sumangala Mataji, Vamsidhari Prabhu will take it. We'll see who else is not here.
And you go get it.
I will be announcing a few more who have been shipping. I can receive on the name of Surya. Padmaja Mataji and Prashant Prabhu have gifted to Vikram Vittal Prabhu and family. That's their brother's family. And Surya Mataji from California, who is the contact of Shamla Mataji, they had hosted a program and distributed 8 sets of Bhagavatam last year, just on their own. 12, sorry. So now they want to sponsor one more. You can give that to Shamla Mataji, Maharaj Kichi Shamla Mataji. And we are waiting for some more. Rupa Mataji, Vaijayanti is here? No. Is she coming? Okay, so give to, yeah. Rupa Mataji's friends, family. Namrata Mataji's family, Namrata and Shrikant, they are receiving one set, and Vaijayanti Mataji's family receiving another set of English. This time Rupa Mataji had pretty much contacted everybody in her phone book, contacts. So she has distributed to 3 devotees and still going on for 2 more. Okay. ఇంకెవరు రావట్లేదా? I will announce. That's it. So then, yeah, call once. So meanwhile, we will be announcing the others who are shipping. Daivi Shakti Mataji is gifting 3 sets, one to Shravya Kanchi Mataji, one to Monica Mataji and family, and then to Krishna Shakti Mataji and family.
That's it.
So, and Baladev is gifting to his grandparents with his pocket money. So it's going to be shipped. And we have Ram Mohan Reddy Prabhu and Vijayalakshmi Mataji. They are distributing a set of Telugu Bhagavatam set to their friends. And Amritakeli Mataji's brother also is gifting another set of Bhagavatam set. Rajashekar Reddy Prabhu, Rajita, Ashwat and Ashrita. Okay. So with that, I think we are... I'm going to be gifting and shipping 1 set to Dhananjay Pandit Prabhu's daughter, Sudha Bomidi and family. Tamil set is not here. So, yes. So with this, we would like to also announce that Ruchira Mataji and Sham Prabhu, they have taken this initiative to give 6 sets of Bhagavatam to the donors and contributors of for the temple construction. So we want to, with this, pay our gratitude to Srila Prabhupada and Sri Radha Madhav and Radha Shyam Sundar for blessing us with everybody's support and the blessings of the Vaishnavas. Today, just over the last 2 days, it's been 44 sets have been distributed. And a month before this, 8 sets, almost 6 sets via Amazon and 2 from our community members, so that altogether makes it to 53 sets till today. You still have time, the moon is still full. So if you would like to, anybody who is watching online would like to sponsor or gift or receive a set, please don't delay. 1 more will make it 54. That is an auspicious number. So please approach, please contact me. You can text me. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai.